Hey y'all, just left the gym, so that's why I'm looking a little sweaty and stuff. But I can't even wait to get home and, you know, eat breakfast and get cleaned up and do this video. I just want to get it out from my mind right now because y'all know how I am. Like I said, I'm gonna keep thinking about it. So it's been on my mind ever since last night. As you can see by the title, yeah, talking about the reunion show. Now, if you're new to my channel, I don't do these types of videos. I've been asked over and over to do them, but I'm like, nah, because this shit fake set up. You know, I don't want to do what everybody else do. But I'm doing this because I have a personal experience that reminded me of Porsha. I was in Porsha's shoes once before, and I had to stop watching the show. I had to put it on pause and go in the kitchen and, you know, give me some cantaloupe and a glass of wine, and because I just like blacked out. I was just like going back to that moment when I was Porsha, and I had to rewind. I taped it, so I had to rewind it when I came back because I was like, I don't remember what happened. You know, what their outfits look like. I can't remember anything about what they look like up until the point. Hold on, y'all. Hope I don't get no fucking flat tire again. And ambulance was behind me. Oh, I had to get in that ditch. Oh, I hope I don't get no flat. But anyway, I had let me get to the point because I'm entertaining. Y'all know how I am. But y'all. Okay, I'm start with the show first before I start talking about me. Okay, Kenya knew what she was doing. I'm trying to call her out of her name, but that heifer was wrong. This heifer calling her out of her name. Wayne called her the B word, but that Wayne knew what she was doing. I knew what she was doing because, like I said, I was Porsha back in 09. I'm like, oh my God, Porsha, don't fall for it. That Wayne knew what she was doing when she got out there with them damn props. And before I forget, like I said, I had to rewind because I couldn't remember what nobody else had on their makeup look like. Because when she started with the little one thing or whatever she called that shit, I'm looking at Cynthia like, you slow. Why in the fuck is you sitting there letting Kenya put all them things in your face to get to Porsha? I don't give a damn if you're cool with her now. You should have been like, hold up, you want to switch seats? Because you're not gonna put those props in my face to get to Porsha. I would have waited until the commercial, whatever. I would have told them producers, y'all need to move me because she ain't gonna put her props up. That's a reality TV that makes good reality TV. So if you want her to have them props, that's fine, but move me because she all in my face trying to get the Porsche. So yeah, Cynthia, your slow ass. But anyway, Kenya knew what she was doing when she did that, because if you listen or read the little things they had up there, the first thing she said, she was telling Porsha, when Porsha stood up, was like, get fired. I said, oh, she want to play Bad Girls Club, knowing that if she put her hands on her, that she, can probably get fired off the show. And unless they change their contracts, Porsha ain't the only one that has put hands on somebody. So, hell, the way Apollo was swinging on old boy, his ass should have never been shown again, if that was the case. But I'm gonna say, Kenya, that Wayne's hair was laid. I don't know what she had on there, but when Porsha pulled that hair, it didn't even move, baby. But yeah, that Wayne knew what she was doing when she set that girl up like that, talking all. That's disrespect. Hold on, y'all, backing up. That's disrespect. All them folks face with them damn props and stuff, and Cynthia sitting there looking all retarded. But before I get on me, Kenya. She I always want to play the victim with the crocodile tears and stuff, and want to get mad at she want to get mad at, okay, y'all, let me get situated. She want to get mad at what's her name, Apollo wife, Phaedra. She want to get mad at Phaedra for throwing that little shade about her dog. Now, I'm a dog lover, you know what I'm saying? But Kenya, karma comes back around. You're never gonna know how it's gonna affect you or whatever. But first thing I said, and I could be wrong for saying this or whatever, but karma is a bitch, because you playing with folks' husbands, you playing with folks' emotion on that show. I don't care if it's reality TV or not. You flirting with Apollo, flirting with other folks' husbands and stuff, talking all that crap. If you can't don't dish it out if you can't take it. And when her dog died, I felt sorry for her. But again, karma. He took your baby from you, you know, trying to mess with somebody else's husband and talking about you. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, she knew she was doing when she set Porsha up to hit her because she, you know, she wanted her to get fired or whatever. But it's some females like that, because I've dealt with several of them, baby, in the United States Postal Service. And I'm trying to not say too much to get my, well, I can't get in trouble. Hell, I'm retired. Fuck it. But yeah, this Wayne I used to work with, y'all. It took me a while to figure out what she was doing. And, you know, along with the help of some other employees there. You know, I hurt myself, and there was in 09 before I had my last surgery. So they had put me on limited duty, where I couldn't, you know, do my job. But they had found me a job in there because I did get hurt on the job. So they found me a little sit-down job. Had to sit on this stool and, you know, throw letters. And that stool was so uncomfortable, you know, it was metal. So I was like, and it had a little thin, regular cushion that's my own. And I'm like, you know, I couldn't be comfortable on that. So, you know, I was, you know, I stayed over there, though, and that's why I love music so much also, because I had my music on, and, you know, I had to get up and move around, stand up, you know, walk around or whatever. And she was just always nitpicking on me. Well, this was one of them. It was two of them that was riding my ass. Always nitpicking, talking shit. Where you, Miss Kane, why you not in your section? I'm like, I'm right here, 20 steps away. My back hurt. I'm trying to, you know, walk it out. You know, I'm trying to move around. But you need to get back over there and throw them letters. I'm like, you know, it's just years of bullshit. I'm like, I'm caught up. I need to fucking stretch. I need to move around. It's in my thing, you know. I had to take extra breaks more than other people. So that was one issue. She got mad at. She was just fucking just hated me, you know, because I'm like, don't get mad at me. I even try to be nice to her. I set her down. I'm like, look, I said, you got an attitude. You got issues with me being over here, but, you know, I know there's a lot of people here that abuse their FMLA, because I had no family medical leave or whatever. I was caught in a lot and stuff, but I'm not abusing the system. I've had 3 surgeries, about to get a 4th one. And you riding me, I'm like, look, you know, I know my job. I don't need you to be riding me or whatever, you know. And I'm already on medication, so if you in any kind of pain, okay, you already in pain and you taking medication, and the side effects is, you know, aggravation, irritation, all kinds of stuff, and you go to work and somebody, you know, constantly in your ear, you know, anybody can snap. That's why I'm like, something to go down. I ain't know they're gonna show the fight, you know, the first reunion show. But I'm like, ooh, Kenya, somebody, girl, you better got that girl face. I'm like, you don't know what folks go through. And I'm coming on by to say, oh, you know, girl, you too cute to be fighting, you know, you too classy to be fighting. Okay, that's fine. We all say that. But once somebody get in your personal space and constantly picking, that's y'all know I can't say words. What's that? It's automatic. You never know when you're gonna snatch, because what happened to me was, another thing we do also at the post office, you know, our badge. On the back of our badge, everybody have a picture of like their family, especially their kids on there. And I, you know, I was told that, you know, you're not supposed to put anything on your badge or whatever. And I see people all the time with, you know, photos taken on the back of their badge. And I I forgot who I asked. Oh, I know it was a female, another older female. That's why I learned so much working there. And I remember she told me, she said, girl, if you look around, she said, everybody have their kids and family on the back of their badge. I have mine on here because it reminds me to keep my cool. It reminds me that that's why I'm working here, you know, so I can have a better life for me and my kids and my family. You know, it's reminding me to, you know, keep my cool. And I'm like, that's a good idea. So, you know, when I got off probation, when I first got hired and stuff, I had, you know, waited until I was, you know, fully in, and I started putting pictures of my kids on the back of my badge too, and it helped. So I'll never forget this one day, I was already irritated, back hurting. I was on my cycle, and it's the reason I'm saying that too. I was just miserable, you know, hurt, and then I went to work on top of that, because I knew that, you know, well, I am in this little, you know, in my new position. You know, even though the seats is uncomfortable, I took my own little cushion. You know, I'm like, okay, you know, I ain't no need me calling. You know, I'm go to work, get to work, and the supervisor, she started on me the time I clocked in. She it's nitpicking, and I'm like, some ain't right at home with her. Some ain't right. And some guys had told me before, she don't know that, but like a month before, a couple of guys had caught me in the break room with tears in my eyes because I was so upset. And they were like, girl, you better stop letting that girl mess with you. She said, that girl is miserable. You know, she miserable. Her husband have like multiple affairs on her. Her husband's about to leave her, so she can't stay in that house they got because she let the man get the house in her name or some shit. So she about to lose their house, and I don't know if it was gossip or not, but I found out that it wasn't gossip, it was the truth. So yeah, she about to lose her husband, her family, her house, and she had to come to work. And they also said, they said, girls, then she got to come to work and look at somebody like you. Y'all know me. I'm saying this because it's that's what I was told. I'm not. Yeah, I know me, but anyway, they were like, girl. Even females, like, girl, and she got to come to work and look at somebody like you, because, y'all see me on camera or whatever and out and about. That's how I am. I look my best wherever. And I did it at the postal service. And I worked the night shift. So people always just look at me crazy like, what you think she going? Because I had on lip gloss and had my eyebrows arched. I didn't go to work with bonnets on my head and all those little wraps, those little white, white sandwich strips or whatever. Females went to work like that with rollers in their hair. I don't care if it is the night shift. I ain't finna go to work with my pajama bottoms on and a t-shirt, and they did. And they just look at me like, bitch, where you think you're going? Smelling good. I just took a shit. Anyway, but yeah, they were like, girl, then she got to come, and the guys, and the females were saying, girl, she had to come to work and then look at somebody like, I'm looking for water, y'all. Look at somebody like you. They got your shit together. You look at her. That she ain't had no booty. She was bad built as hell. Just miserable. So I'm like, okay. And I figured out what, she was doing. She was just miserable and whatever. So, I never forget one day she was there, and it was another supervisor that came in from another plant. I think that the supervisor was going to be taking over her while she went on vacation or taking over for somebody else or something. I don't know. So they were showing the other supervisors the tool and stuff. And girl, tell me why. Look at me, girl. Yeah, girl. Hey, y'all. Hey, girl. Hey. Tell me why they ever called me out. It was her, another supervisor, and the new supervisor that was visiting. Tell me why I came out of the restroom, walking back to my section, and I saw a poem. The poem. Look. Oh, no. Here we go. I got my headphones, put them in my ear again. And I trying to ignore, and I heard her screaming, CK! That ain't unprofessional. You're supposed to get the intercom and call people or go up to their shoulder and tap them. And I mean, everybody was looking. And somebody tapped me on my shoulder and pointed, and she was, CK, come here. And I looked around because everybody was looking at her, looking at me, and they put their head down. I'm like, this bitch, no, she didn't. You hear me calling you? I'm like, what? Just ignored me and turned to the new supervisor and was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She ain't never in her spot. She always walking around. She ain't never in her spot. I'm like, wait, man. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I had to go to the restroom. Tell me why. I never forget. This one's going to tell me, but you just went to the bathroom 5 minutes ago. I looked at her and she was just talking shit to me, talking shit about me, and I'm standing right there to the supervisor. Yeah, and she don't. Yeah, you have to watch this one because she ain't know where she's supposed to be. She always walking around. Just kept saying the same thing over and over. And I never forget, y'all. I'm like, you know what? You embarrassing me in front of this new person, the whole motherfucking plant. And I had a ballpoint pen, an ink pen in my hand because I was, we had to keep it kind of our letters and stuff. How much we got out for the next shipment. The truck or whatever, and I had just kept the pen in my hand. I didn't realize it was in my hand, and I'm just sitting here being embarrassed. I'm so fucking embarrassed. She's talking shit to me, and I said, you know what? That's it. I'm like, that's it. I was just imagining myself getting this ink pen. I'm like, what? When I fucking healed her, I'm gonna do something to scar her. And y'all, that's how I was. That's why I had to leave. And she just kept talking shit. And the other supervisor that worked there, she was like, CK, you can go on back. I'm like, no. I said, I ain't going back to my seat. I said, why you sit here embarrassing me in front of all these people? I say, I'm a female. I said, I'm on my cycle. I said, I'm on my fucking period, bitch. She know I'm going to cuss out. I said, I'm on my fucking period, bitch. I said, you want me to go in the bathroom and get the fucking bloody tampon and show you? I will. And the other supervisor, Miss CK, go on back. I'm like, no. I just sit here embarrassing me talking shit. I don't fucking feel good. And she just called me out like that. I'm like, she ain't right. Miss K, you go in the office. Go in the office and write you up. And I had that opinion, y'all. I swear to God, I'm going to stab that woman in her fucking face. I said, when I leave out of here, you know, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose all my benefits. And that's what she wanted me to do. When you put your hands on somebody, the postal service, that's automatic. You know, you can get fired. You can lose all of your, you know, benefits, everything. Because you can get fired from the post office for 2 things. You can't get fired for calling in and not coming to work. You can be out for a fucking year and you can still keep your job. They can fire you for stealing and for putting your hand on somebody else. Fight. And I realized too, somebody told me, they said she wants you to do something too, because she know you about to, you know, put in for your retirement and stuff. Because they had got out, you know, I only told a couple of people, but she found out about that. And she was like, just talking shit. And I cussed her ass. I'm like, bitch, I'm on my motherfucking period. You may go in the damn bathroom, get the fucking bloody tampon. And I had that pen and I can just see myself. It's like an out-of-body experience. I'm not lying. I could see myself stabbing her in the face with that pen and grabbing her hair because she had long blonde hair. And I was finna get her. And I remember I never forgot, just threw that pen down. I walked off. I walked off crying because I had to call my husband at 2 in the morning, like almost 3 in the morning. He was, you know, come down. And the union students came over and like, Miss Kane, calm down, baby. You calm down. I'm like, I just went off. Am I crying? Nah, I got little tears in my eyes. But it brought back so much memories. That's why I had to start watching the show. Cause I'm like, man, you don't know what folks going through. Reality TV or not, you don't know what folks going through. So, and she didn't know that. Like, I'm doing this for a reason. You got somebody like that in your life, on the job or whatever, that's doing it. They're doing this shit for a reason. They either miserable or they want you to put your hands on them so you can get fired or whatever. And lo and behold, did she know months and months before I was, yeah, she told me, go to the office, can't go to the office. I'm like, you know, I had went to my locker and got all of my stuff out. I'm like, man, fuck this, fuck her. Fuck her, I'm finna go home. I went and got my stuff and she saw me coming out of the locker room and I heard her. Miss Kane, come back here. I ain't through with you. Miss Kane, go report to the office. I threw that damn coach purse over my shoulder, baby. I walked out with both of my middle fingers in the air. That's how I dealt with it. I did like that. Went home. Came back 3 days later because I went home and I called in. You have to call this 800 number, whatever. So I just went home. So the next night, I didn't go to work. I called in for 3 nights. Went to the doctor. Got me some medications for my nerves and stuff. And like I was saying, she don't know that months and months before, I was putting paperwork on her ass. Another reason I'm doing is also when shit like that happens in your life, especially at the job, you got to put paperwork on their ass. They know she figured, yeah, I'm going to write you up or whatever. Bitch, whatever. I got paperwork on your ass. So in case I do snap, I have paperwork saying I've been to the doctor. You know, I've been to EEO. I've been to counseling or whatever for my, you know, for my stress and, you know, pain and stuff. She don't know all that. So I had already had a feeling that I might snap one day. You know, I'm like, Lord, I might snap. So let me go ahead and put paper on her ass. So I get back to work in the 3 days and I clocked in. She at the clock waiting on me. Go to the office, Miss Kane. And now, you know, she wasn't talking shit then, but she wrote me up a long ass fucking paragraph. I'm like, I want a union steward. I ain't signing it. I never did sign this. So she called herself, okay, I'm going to get a union steward this nigga. You're going to have to come back and sign it. And I'm telling myself, bitch, I've been here for 13 years. I know the rules. I ain't got to sign a goddamn thing. I never did sign, and of course, nothing ever came of it. But I just can see myself in Porsha. I'm like, man, I know what Porsha going through. You don't do that. But Porsha should have put her in a place a long time ago. And if you notice also, you hear Nene them and Cannon them talking, girl, that's why I ain't want to sit over there. Yeah, that's why I can sit over there. And I knew then, I'm like, them producers, they knew who to sit by Kenya. It was either Porsha or Phaedra. Because they know Phaedra don't know how to really come back. But Porsha getting better with it, you know, trying to come back and throw shade. But Kenya knew who she could do that to. Put them damn props in somebody's face. Cynthia, Kenya, and Porsha. Because Nene and Cynthia, Nene and Candy weren't going to have it. But 20 minutes almost, so let me go, y'all. But yeah, that's my little experience. And that's my little review of the show. So I probably won't be doing no more of it. You know, I'm going to look at the other 2 reunions. I'm going to be through with it. But that struck a nerve with me. They hit home. Y'all know I'm always showing dogs in my videos and stuff. That's why I go to the gym. I can't walk outside for free. It's a lady out there with them, but still, hey, if they get to me, you ain't gonna be able to get to them quick enough. But anyway, yeah, y'all, that's my experience and my review. Be mindful, y'all, who y'all fuck with at the job and all of that stuff. Y'all don't know what folks go through, and y'all know when somebody going to snap. People don't go to work like, well, I'm finna beat this bitch up today and go to jail. Folks don't really plan that, Let you see shootings and stuff like that, but you don't know in life, road rage and all that stuff. You don't know what folks going through. So trying to come, don't be messing with people. Don't be a Kenyan. So let me go, y'all. I'll holler.